What is up, Watch fam? Happy Monday, and welcome to this week's RANT&H. I am Christian from Theo and Harris, and today we're going to be diving into my opinion on HODINKEE's newest collaboration, the Swatch Sistem51. Before we jump into it, a quick wristwatch check. I am wearing my personal Rolex reference 1601, a beautiful, beautiful example of that watch. It's really one of the rarest examples of the 1601. I will be listing a couple of beautiful 1601s tomorrow on the watch shop at theoandharris.com though. So you guys should absolutely keep your eyes on the shop tomorrow morning, I believe at 9 a.m. To see if anything suits your fancy, which is something that I've never actually said before. So let's get into the HODINKEE watch. Okay, first, let's talk about HODINKEE's collaborations first. HODINKEE has had a fairly long history at this point, at least a year, maybe two, of collaborations with watch companies, starting with MB&F, going into Vacheron Constantin with a custom Corne de Vache, more recently with Heuer into a new reimagination of the famous Skipper chronograph. We've covered both of those watches, specifically the Heuer in its own video on the Theo and Harris channel. It's super interesting conversation, and now we've got a new one, their newest collaboration with Swatch. So I'm very interested and excited about this watch. It is HODINKEE's most affordable collaboration to date. At $150, it actually demands no premium over the standard Swatch Sistem51. So now let's talk about the Sistem51 for a second. It was introduced at Baselworld of 2013. It has 51 parts only, which is a pretty miraculous achievement for an actually mechanical and automatic wristwatch, especially with a 90-hour power reserve. But what's so interesting about this watch is its production is entirely automated. It's done by machines, so although it was absolutely designed by people, it is not produced directly by them, which is a first in the watch industry, and an extremely interesting little space for Swatch to not only play with, but own. So the watch itself is a very interesting, piece of, truthfully, the history of watchmaking. Now, HODINKEE's collaboration of the Sistem51 is actually pretty nice. It's got an aluminum dial, which is something that Swatch said themselves is not something they're so accustomed to doing in the plastic version of this watch. The aluminum dials are expensive to make, and of course, disproportionately for their plastic models. But for HODINKEE, they made an exception, and the dial itself is not a reissue by any means. The inspiration was produced in 1984. Of course, the inspiration is there. I think that their version is very different, but what's so interesting about this watch is not the design, it's not even the watch itself, as much as it is the effort and message that HODINKEE is communicating here. HODINKEE has become, over the course of the last few years, less and less approachable. HODINKEE really is a publication that speaks about what most of us consider unattainable pieces, and I think they speak about those unattainable pieces in kind of a ritzy, unapproachable way. So both the content and the delivery is, as many people, including myself, see it a little bit distant, and this watch is the opposite of that. As I mentioned before, at $150, you're getting a custom aluminum dial watch that represents one of the most interesting developments, specifically in respect to technology, that the watch world has seen in the recent past. So props, HODINKEE. You didn't just make a cheap watch that everybody could have. You made one that actually means something. One that I think that, Ben and everyone involved probably look back on in 1, 2, 10, 20, 30 years or whatever, when the technology and systems that the Sistem51 introduced into the world make up a much larger and significant portion of the production means in the watch industry. They're gonna look back on that, I think, and say, yeah, we kind of told you so. We put our time, money, and marketing into that watch when, yeah, it was famous, but it wasn't what it is today. So congratulations, HODINKEE, and thank you all for watching this episode of RANT&H. I will see you all tomorrow in the watch shop at theoandharris.com.